Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday the 17th of September today. We're over halfway through September already. I'm just going to show you a bit more of a chill vlog today. I'm going to go through my daily routine and just show you what I get up to every day on a trading day. Start with the hang to decompress, get ready for the day since I'm going to be sitting here for a few hours on the computer. I'm going to be trading the London session. I focus on GBP USD only. I'm going to show you a little time lapse of what I do. I'm just going to be sitting there just obsessively watching the M1 price action. I think that if you're going to trade intraday and you're going to watch the lower time frames, then the best thing to do is actually just stay completely in tune with the chart. Limit distractions, stay off the phone as much as possible, stay off social media, stay off browsing the internet, and just kind of dance with the price action. Just get a feel for what's going on. So that's what I'm going to do. It's what I do every day. I cut off at about midday, 1 p.m, depending on the price action. And we do have news today. There is US retail sales month on month at about 1:30. So I expect we'll probably get a little bit of flat price action leading into that news. It normally kind of happens these days. And I'm only looking for longs today. Yesterday was a strong close. Today on the hourly looks quite nice. So don't really want to look short, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can get any continuations. It could be that it gets a trend continuation on the lower time frames, or we could get a retrace down to some support. Man, that's a tongue twister. And then look for a reversal on the lower time frames in line with the trend. But yeah, we'll see what forms. All right, so that's my trading day done. I'm gonna go to the bakery, get some bread for some breakfast, and then get on to the gym and do some other stuff, which I'll bring you guys along for. But because I didn't get any trades today, I'm gonna jump on the simulator later and look to get a win on that, just so I can stay sharp and just so I can experience that feeling of winning, which I like to try and get every single day. Just to keep on top of things, basically, just to keep sharp, just to keep maintenance of my edge. So yeah, I'll show you guys that as well. But yeah, let's crack on and get away from this computer for a bit. All right, that's the gym done. That's a couple of parts of my routine done for the day now. And really the afternoon for me is where the discipline side of things comes into play. It's easy getting to the PC in the morning. All I have to do is just walk into the other room and fire it up and I'm on the charts. That's simple. That's the stuff we're all addicted to. The hard part of the day is doing the things I don't want to do. So I didn't want to come to the gym today, but I'm glad I did because now I feel better. But before I did, I had no energy, I was tired. I'd rather just stay at home and chill. But the reason for doing so is because there's a voice in your head that will tell you to basically cop out. And that voice sounds like, hey, you're feeling a little bit tired today, don't worry about it, you can just go tomorrow. One day is not going to hurt. On the charts, that looks like, or sounds like, just jump into that trade. You know it's going up. Just jump in, otherwise you're going to miss it. It could lead to revenge trading, boredom trading, all these types of things. And the way to combat that is doing this disciplined side of the day in the afternoon, so that when I show up on the charts tomorrow, I'm feeding the part of me that says to jump over those hurdles. So even though I wasn't feeling great coming to the gym, I thought through and I went, when I get home, I'm going to go for a little walk. And again, if it's a little bit cold, if it's raining, I don't really feel like it. But that voice in my head says, just go for it. And afterwards, I always feel better. But doing that consistently, doing those little things and making sure every single day I'm ticking something off of a list, it just helps me with my trading. Because if I feed that voice, that cop-out voice, that little weasel voice in my head that says not to do the things that I know I should do, then on the charts I suffer. And then I just spiral out of control and I don't feel great, and the P&L shows it. So it's all about building the right habits, and I've kind of honed my routine over a long period of time now. And the thing is with intraday trading, if you just show up to the charts, mess around on them, and then go and mess around for the rest of the day, going on YouTube, just watching Netflix, just wasting time basically, and then you're not really fueling the right mindset that you need when you're trading the live markets the next day. So a couple of things that I need to do still today is I need to do some meditation for my mindset. I need to do my journaling. I need to go for a walk. I need to do some back testing because I didn't get a win on the charts today. It's frustrating sitting there for like 4 or 5 hours and not getting the trade. But it's even more frustrating if I FOMO or revenge trade or I boredom trade. And the way I combat that is knowing that if I didn't get a trade on the live markets, I can trade on the simulator. I can trade on the simulator later. Yes, that sounded right. But I like to get one win a day because it keeps my mindset at a high level. It keeps that winning feeling going. And it is the last thing that I did before I go onto the live markets again is take a win. So I make that part of my routine as well. It's just something that I've found helps me keep sharp, keep consistent, and maintaining the right habits. So I feel like when you're sitting at the charts trading, especially intraday, your sole focus should be on the charts. Like if you're doing any other job, if you're sitting in an office working away, you're not messing around on social media, you're not distracting yourself with other things, you're just working on the task at hand. And watching the charts, for me, is the task at hand. So I keep notifications off of my phone. I don't sit there on Twitter. I don't sit there on YouTube. I don't open my WhatsApp or whatever. I just make sure I'm dialed in. And it is a boring routine, what I'm doing. I'm not really sure if anyone's going to find this interesting, but what I've found is to keep my emotions on a level ground so that I can go into the charts and I haven't got that chaos in my brain. I'm doing the same things over and over and over again every single day. And this is kind of what I'm showing you now. It's all about your habits, basically. The whole reason for this discipline part of my day is to control that voice, that cop-out voice, that weasel voice that is there for everyone. Everyone has that voice, and everyone has that higher power, that higher consciousness to overrule that. And you have to feed it just like you have to fuel a muscle in the gym. In order for that to grow, you have to do curls, you have to do squats, whatever the case is. For your mind, you need to do the same sort of exercise, and those exercises are overcoming that voice that says not to do things and just take a little rest and come back to it tomorrow, because you'll always put things off till tomorrow. But it is just to force yourself to do it, and the only way you can do that is get that first rep, get that first reference point so that you know, hey, maybe you didn't want to do it, but you actually did it, and you force yourself to do it and you feel better for it. And you did that yesterday, so why can't you do it today? And then you start getting a bit of momentum, you start getting a bit of consistency. So yeah, there's a few more things that I need to do today. We'll get to them. I'll take you along with me. I hope you find it interesting, because it's really not. I don't think so anyway. But it's something that has been crafted in order to make sure that my trading is as level as possible. And I hope by me showing you what I do, maybe you can pick something out of it to add to your own routine that you think might help you and you find more beneficial. Because the thing is, I've tried loads of stuff. You know, people will say things like you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and you have to get sunlight in your face. And yeah, maybe you can do that. Maybe you can do the cold plunges. I've practiced that myself, but I found it wasn't right for me. I found where extra energy was expended, it made me suffer in other areas. So you have to try it. You have to try many different things until you settle onto a routine which benefits you. Your personality is different to mine. This is just what I do. And doing things like meditating, doing things like going for a walk. I do 5,000 steps. Everyone says to do 10,000 steps. But I found that it was a little bit too much for me in my day. I found that I would do 10,000 steps when my mind really needs it. I would find I would do an hour of meditation when I really need it. 15 minutes is okay for my brain. 5,000 steps is okay for my brain when I'm walking. So it's just what suits you. And you have to dip in and dip out, maybe try some things and actually think, hey, I don't need to do this. But at the end of the day, it will be down to you. It's part of a process. It takes a while for you to figure it out. This is why trading takes a long time to become profitable, as well as the technical side of things. But I believe it's more lifestyle based, and my entire lifestyle is based around trying to get the most out of my trading. Hope that comes across. I've waffled on a little bit too much. I should probably talk a little bit about me as well. I've been trading for 9 years. Forex is my bread and butter. I also trade Bitcoin. I trade a personal account, and I've also got 150k in funding with my funded FX. So I'm not the biggest funded trader you'll find on YouTube, but I'm on my way there, and that's kind of the thing I want to document with this channel. My average sort of payout is around 3 to 4 grand, so it's not mega bucks, but I found out a way to be quite consistent with it and to fund sort of a normal lifestyle. I do want to kind of push on now and start making good money from these funded accounts. My main focus is actually Darwin X and building a public track record with that. So yeah, I use supply and demand trading. I've been using that basically since the beginning of my trading career. I've never deviated away from that. So if you're interested in anything supply and demand related, price action related, leave a question in the comments and I'll do a video about it. But yeah, that's kind of it. So let's get out of here. I'm gonna head to the butcher's now and then crack on with the rest of my routine, and then I can just chill tonight. And then we do it all over again tomorrow. There are 3 things that I would like you to take from this video to add to your routine. It would be these. So the first obviously is walking. There are so many benefits to walking. Obviously it's good exercise, but in terms of your mindset, it just allows you to clear things out of your head. Over time, you'll just generate so much junk in there and it will act as background noise and you won't even realize that it's there. Having some time to yourself where you're just able to process that. Being in nature's better, I've found, because there are fewer distractions. You have to cross roads, you don't come across people, and you can just stay within your thoughts. But it also adds a little bit of perspective as well, and you'll realize that a lot of your problems aren't really worth worrying about. You'll come out into nature and it will just kind of naturally, peacefully settle your brain. It allows you the time to just think about whatever's going on in your life. It will just give you time to yourself. It will just give you time. And I've found that the absence of just going for a walk every day will really affect me. And when I go for one again, I feel like a completely different person. And you know, you can go for a 15-minute walk and go for a 2-hour walk. But I always find when I go home, I will be in a completely different mindset. Just way more peaceful. It's just got so many benefits to it. You can allow yourself that time to think through whatever you need to think through, whether that is trading related, if it's emotion, if it's family, if it's relationships, friends, work, whatever the case is. As a society, we don't really allow ourselves that thinking time. We kind of just close it out with Netflix, with drinking, with so many other distractions. But having that walk every day just takes everything away and just gives you that time to yourself. Second thing is meditation. All I do is just sit down for 15 minutes, put some headphones on, put some binaural beats on, and that allows no sound to come in, so it doesn't put me off whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm thinking. It just allows me to stay in the zone. And the best analogy that I've found with meditation is it's like having a single thought on one piece of paper. One piece of paper equals one thought. And meditating allows you just to read each thought, put it in a folder, and then stick it away in a filing cabinet. And it just completely declutters the room that is your mind. And and allows you to have space for more positive thoughts or whatever new ventures you want to think about, whatever the case is. But by doing it each day, you will find that you'll become a more chilled person. You'll find that you will be a lot calmer, more patient, which is obviously really good for trading. It will just take out that background noise, which you really don't realize is there until you've actually managed to sort it out. But it has to be a daily practice, and it can be a bit daunting getting into it, but it really is just sitting there and thinking. That's all it is. It's the art of doing nothing. And the more you do it at the start, obviously the quicker your brain will declutter, but you'll be surprised at how much noise is in your brain. And lastly, and if you do all these three together, it's like a superpower, genuinely. Journaling. This can be anything, putting all your thoughts onto paper. There's no judgment from the paper. Nobody's going to be reading it. So whatever your deepest, darkest thoughts are, or your deepest, darkest anxieties, worries, whatever the case is, getting it out of your brain and onto paper is something spiritual to it, I've found, but it just leaks out of you and it's like you've dealt with it. It's like it's no longer there. It's like a checklist and you've ticked something off. You no longer have to think about it. What I've used it for is a self-improvement tool. It gives you a measurement of your life. It's like a data set for your life. You get to analyze the language that you use, both in the moment and also 6 months in the past, a year in the past. And from that, you can see your genuine progress or your stagnation, or if you've gone backwards, you can look back at things that you've been doing in the past to realign yourself with the person you want to be, or on the path that you want to be walking on if you've been led astray. It's super important to do this every day, I've found, because you're gonna be cluttering your mind every single day. Every experience that you have, every emotion that you feel is just gonna put something in your brain, and you have to release it somehow. You will release it in unconscious behaviors if you don't deal with it, and that may be being snappy at friends, it may be taking FOMO trades, it may be taking revenge trades, it may be not being able to stick to something consistent. So you have to deal with the things that are going on in your brain, and those three things every single day are what I would recommend you adding to your routine. If you've got anything from this video, I would suggest those three things. They are an absolute game changer and the best way to improve your self-awareness, get different perspective on life, and just be a better person, really. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about on my walk. I'm gonna get back to it before it gets dark or if it starts thundering, because this weather is awful, man. It's gonna be winter soon. We've had about 2 months of summer, which was generous. Thank you. Thank you, UK. Alright guys, it's pretty late. I've finished my routine. I've got through my meditation, through my journaling, done some reading and some stretching, which I haven't talked to you about in this video. I'm going to save that for the next one. This has just been a bit of a practice run for me, just to get the routine out on video, just to get used to filming things. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, more importantly, and I hope you hang around for the next one. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below, and then I can cover that in a separate video. But for now, I'm just going to get through some back testing. That'll be it for the rest of the evening for me. I can go chill and then repeat the process tomorrow. Although it's FOMC tomorrow, so I won't actually be trading. I'm going to edit this video and get it out for you. And I'll see you next time. Take care.